In the Stay Active method, we teach people how to push themselves to their absolute limits and learn how to read the signs and signals from their body for when and how to back off and support those absolute limits. The concept we use is the difference between the comfort zone and the effort zone, and both are necessary to develop in order to be as maximally capable as we can be. As we progress through exercise, there are times we should stay within and then find the edge of our comfort zone. And there are times we should push beyond our comfort zone and towards our outer limits of ability. When we're feeling good within our body or have a lot of energy to exert, those are the times to push to our outer limits. That's when we should take on the heaviest weights and the fastest speeds and really push ourselves to find where our limit is. As we go through that process, our body will start to give us signs and symptoms. We need to find different ways of moving, and we need to be steadier with our energy and our output. And when we ignore those signs and symptoms, that's when injuries and illnesses start to crop up. And those signals get louder and louder until the point where we may think, exercise is bad for me, or this particular exercise injures me. Really what we need to do is we need to learn when it's appropriate to take on steadier or more comfortable work and when it's appropriate to push to our limit. And then once we've done that, we have to accept and work to dose ourselves appropriately so that we can either grow the comfort zone or grow our absolute limit. This bottom purple section indicates the basic minimums that every human being is capable of. This is our ability to breathe. When we are no longer able to breathe, we are no longer alive. When we start to do anything more than breathe, we are comfortable as we start to do that. And that is known as our comfort zone. As we start to reach the edge of our comfort zone, it takes effort. And from that effort, we find our absolute limit. And the max that we are capable of is the edge of our effort zone. Now, when somebody starts out, their comfort zone will grow. And so this green section here will get a little larger, but they're not pushing to their absolute limit. And so their limit of their ability does not increase just by increasing the comfort zone. But when we increase the comfort zone, it's easier and closer to get to our absolute limit. Now, as we start to put in that effort, our comfort zone does not grow, but our absolute limit does grow. And so as we make progress, our comfort zone stays the same, and we continue pushing to that upper outer limit. Now, if we're never maintaining our comfort zone, if we're not doing enough within our comfort zone will start to shrink. And as our comfort zone starts to shrink, it becomes tougher and tougher to push all the way to our outer limit. And so what used to be easy is no longer easy. Therefore, it takes so much more effort just to meet where we were previously. As a result, we start to lose our absolute ability, not because we can't push ourselves, but because we don't have enough comfortable activity in order to support that absolute limit. As the comfort zone continues to shrink, our ability and our max ability continues to shrink. Now, typically during this phase is when people will develop major symptoms of their injury and illness. And they start to say, I'm injured. I have an illness. That's why I'm losing capacity. But in reality, they're doing too much difficult work and not keeping their comfort zone expanded. Now, if they double down and say, I just need to work harder and get out of my comfort zone more, again, that ability continues to drop until they lose motivation to actually push themselves. And then their effort zone starts to shrink as well. So they didn't push and expand the limits of their comfort zone, and now they're losing ability to even challenge themselves because they see that their abilities are dropping. So now they don't even challenge themselves. And this is when they hit what's known as rock bottom. They don't push themselves much, and just about everything hurts and is uncomfortable. What we need to do is we need to get some work done within our comfort zone and grow that over time. And we can start to push ourselves a little bit more. And as we push ourselves, that progress starts to rise again. And that's motivating for us to continue that journey upward. But it requires both increasing the comfort zone and pushing outside of it. In the Stay Active method, we check in on the signs and symptoms within our body to know when we're ready to push the limits of our ability and when to take on more comfortable work. It takes consistency, it takes persistence, it takes showing up when you're tired, it takes showing up when you're sore, it takes learning to accept your limits, and it takes learning when to push those limits and really dig in. We feel our symptoms, we feel our emotions as they come and go. We give them what they need, not necessarily what they want. And over time, our ability to push ourselves increases as well. Life becomes more comfortable, exercise becomes more comfortable. We get the rush and the high and the excitement and the pride from pushing our absolute limits and seeing those grow. From that comfortable foundation with high absolute limits, we're maximally able to help others along this same journey.